Hi, I'm Laura Young, also known as Less Waste Laura, and for the past few years I've tried to live an environmentally conscious lifestyle and advocate for climate justice. I'm journeying around the amazing Whitelee Windfarm to learn more about the future of our energy and the net zero debate. I've just met Dr. Sam Gardner, who explained net zero and why action against climate change is needed now. But I want to know how Whitelee came about, and who better to tell me than the person that built it, and I'm meeting him at one of the highest points on the wind farm. I hope my bike copes with this hill. Hi Stuart, how are you doing?
Hi Laura, I'm fine thanks, how are you?
I'm good. Fancy a wee chat?
Yeah, sure.
Great. It's great to meet the person that built Whitelee.
Well, the person that built Whitelee, there was quite a number of people built Whitelee, but I was the project manager for the original phase of the project quite some time ago now. We started on site in 2006, so you're testing my memory banks.
And 2006, is that when the construction started?
Exactly, that's when we placed the contracts and put a first spade in the ground on site. But the project was conceived long before that, before the year 2000. They started engaging with the landowners and undertaking the ecological surveys, etc. The planning application was submitted in 2002. For a project of this scale, you can imagine there's a lot of questions that various people have to ask, and the consent wasn't granted until 2006.
What are the things that you have to do before you can put a spade in the ground?
Well, you have to undertake a number of ecological environmental surveys, noise surveys, and have them all approved by all the relevant bodies and the local authorities. So Whitelee Windfarm spans 3 local authority boundaries, so we had to work with all of these local authorities as well, and the various consultees, and then plus the technical side of things to design exactly how we're going to lay out the roads and where we're going to excavate the foundations and lay the cables and locate the substation, etc.
Loads of moving parts, and right now we're at the viewpoint, so you can kind of see the whole of Glasgow. But why did you choose to build a wind farm here?
Well, first and foremost, it is a good wind resource.
Yep,
and,
windy.
and we have the land that we need. But equally, close to centres of population, close to access to grid, and close to road infrastructure.
And for Scottish Power, had they taken on anything the scale of this before?
Back then, of course, Scottish Power wasn't 100% green. So to take on a project of this scale, in something that was, relatively new, to build a 322 megawatt wind farm, now 539 megawatts with the extra Whitelee extension that was built, just was a fantastic commitment and showed that was the way forward for the company.
So has Whitelee changed over time?
Well, yes, obviously we talked about phase 1, which started construction in 2006 and completed in 2009. Phase 2 was only in planning for 1 year, so that was very quick through the process, Whitelee extension. Construction there started in 2010 and was completed in 2013. And of course the story doesn't end there, because we're constructing a battery at the substation at the other end of site, and we have plans in place for hydrogen and solar on this site as well.
And was the construction of this place easy?
Easy? No. Took a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. The ground conditions were very challenging. A lot of peat on the site, so we had to construct the roads as floating roads, which meant you have to lay the road over the top of the vegetation. And we also had an ecological clerk of works on site who was always walking ahead of the project to check if there's anything to be aware of in terms of wildlife or other ecology that we should try and mitigate any impact.
Was there any, interesting wildlife things that kind of popped up in the course of doing this?
Yes, one good example was a pair of breeding merlin that the ecological clerk of works came across, which meant we had to set up a 500 metre exclusion zone around them, and all works in that area had to stop until such time as they had fledged and left the nest, and they successfully did that. So it was a great story, and we managed to incorporate that into our overall project programme.
I'll be cycling across the whole wind farm. Do you have a favourite place?
I'm not sure about a favourite bit, but while we're constructing it, one of the highest points on site is called Course Hill, and we were standing up there, lovely clear day, and we could see the whole of Glasgow. We said, that's incredible, we can see the whole of Glasgow from here. We thought, that means the whole of Glasgow can see us.
Yep.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. You get great views of Whitelee from various parts of Glasgow and the west of Scotland. And, I'm very proud of it. The whole of the company is very proud of it. It stood the test of time, as we just talked about, diversifying into other technologies. And, yeah, it's a real focal point for us and the renewables industry.
I love being down in town and being able to point out and say, yep, that big wind farm, that's where I live. How do you feel being here? You know, it's 2021, the construction's well over. You know, how do you feel walking around it?
Oh, I'm still very proud of what we have achieved. I mean, it took a lot of hard work from a lot of people to get to this stage. But the fact that it is, as we said, still our focal point, our flagship project, is fantastic.
That's brilliant. I'm about to go and meet Joe and Mark to find out a bit more about what it takes to operate and really run this place. I'm going to turbine 48. Do you know where that is?
Yes, from memory, turbine 48 should be just over that way, but it'll take you a little while to get there.
Right. OK, see you later.
Cheerio.
It takes a lot of hard work and experience to keep a place like this moving at its full potential. Join me next time as I meet the people whose job it is to keep the turbines turning.